Hello guys, my name is NaToSaphiX's. Today we have another video, and this time it is yet another pick'em video. These picks, you can kind of ignore them. I made them in 1 minute because I was super stressed. It said 1 minute remaining to make your picks, and I have no idea why it says this, because the tournament doesn't start until 5 hours basically. But I do actually think these are pretty solid picks considering I did them in 1 minute. Let's put them back though, these guys. And let's start from the beginning. Let's talk a little bit about how I see the different teams and how strong I think each team is. So, talking about the 3-0 picks, this is probably a good place to start. There are a few people that you could pick here. I think you could pick Spirit. It's probably a really solid pick. I think FaZe is not a good pick. I think Na'Vi could be a good pick. I think G2 could be a good pick here. I think Mouse could be a good pick, and I think Vitality could be a good pick as well. The reason I don't think FaZe is a good pick here is because I feel FaZe, they always have some kind of best of one upset. But I do think they're very, very safe in this bracket. Obviously, things can happen. It's Counter-Strike. I think for the 3-0, I think I might put Spirit. I know a lot of people say that Spirit are favorites to win a major. I have a hard time believing that will happen. I think it's likely that they will make the playoffs, but I don't think, honestly, they will win the major. I don't even think they might get to a semifinal. I don't think they'll get to the final. Putting them in 3-0 is because they've been really good lately, and I could see them go 3-0 because they stomp a lot of their opponents, but I think as we get into the later stages of the tournament, there will be nerves starting to show. For our other 3-0, I think, for me it's a toss-up between Na'Vi and G2. I do view Na'Vi as maybe having, in a way, a stronger mental. Or should I pick Mouse? That's hard. I actually think I might pick... Man, it's tough. Okay, so just to talk about my thought process. Na'Vi, I think they're not sort of good enough to go 3-0. It could happen, but I think in terms of like handling the pressure, they are one of the better teams. G2 is a team where... I don't know. I think G2 is going in this bracket at least. I think question for me is, basically I don't think Na'Vi's team is good enough currently to make a 3-0. Obviously it can always happen, but just looking at other teams, I don't think they will just go 3-0. I don't, for example, think like any of these teams will make a 3-0. I don't think Ecstatic will make a 3-0. Eternal Fire has a really high top level, could make it. Same with Cloud9, same with Heroic. I don't think though that these teams will. Maybe Eternal Fire if they get like lucky in a bracket. I don't think it'll be Complexity, so I also don't think it's going to be Virtus.pro, even though it could happen. So I think it's between Mouse, Vitality, and Na'Vi. I know you guys said you like me talking through my thoughts, so that's why I'm doing that. And this one is actually a pretty hard one. I think I would go... It's between Mouse and Vitality for me here, and I think... I'm actually not smart enough to have looked up opening matchups, so I did that the other times. Let me just do this, and now I have all the opening matchups. Okay, we back, baby. So, Mouse plays Ecstatic in the first match. That's a pretty easy one, you would imagine, but it's still best of one. Vitality plays Eternal Fire. Not ideal. Now he plays the Mongols. I think I will put Mouse, simply from the fact that they have a matchup that I think is very winnable. And it was kind of between Mouse and Vitality for me. I think Vitality could be upset by Eternal Fire. Man, it's hard actually. I'll go with this. I actually want to take Vitality. I think Vitality will do 3-0, but I'm a little bit afraid of Eternal Fire in a best of one. So that's why we're picking Mouse. Because of that, Vitality definitely goes here. In my opinion, Virtus.pro definitely goes here. I think from the teams left, Na'Vi goes here. I think it's like a toss-up between one of these four, but I don't think Complexity have impressed me that much lately. Heroic could make it, but something tells me they won't. Do I pick with my brain or with my gut? That's always the issue, right? Like, Cloud9 looked impressive, but they do have opening match against Spirit. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I went with my brain in the other one, and the last video, the picks that I showed you guys, I had 4 correct. I don't know, something is telling me Eternal Fire. That just sounds crazy though, but it feels right. Ooh, I don't know, guys. We'll let this sit for now. Let this stir. I think Imperial has a really tough opening match. What about Pain? Pain is playing against Complexity, so I don't think I'm picking Pain. I'm gonna pick Imperial. And I think the other one I will pick will be the Mongols. Because I feel like their peak is not that high. They could sneak a best of one win, and then it's fucked. But that's the risk you take. Do I back my Danish boys like I did last time? Because, I mean, Ecstatic did make it. And when I say Danish boys this time, I mean Heroic. Oh man, I can't figure out. Like, Cloud9 is also a solid pick. If you want to pick Cloud9, go ahead and do it. I don't know. Something tells me Eternal Fire, so I'm gonna do it. Go through the picks real quick. Spirit 3-0. They do have a pretty tough opening matchup. They're playing Cloud9, but I think Spirit has the edge in that match. And if they win that, hopefully they get a favorable next matchup, because Cloud9 is a pretty decent opponent. Mouse, it is mostly just because they have Ecstatic in the first match, and I'm hoping they win that. I don't feel very confident about this, but at the same time, like what I would have done is I wanted to pick Vitality and put it here. But I don't know, Eternal Fire in a best of one is just too scary to me. And I think Ecstatic are less scary. Again, Counter-Strike, anything can happen. I feel FaZe is pretty safe. I feel Vitality, I mean, they might go 3-0, but they should be advancing. I feel really good about Virtus.pro. They could honestly also go 3-0. Na'Vi, I think, is one of the good picks as well. G2, I'm putting them here, but it is honestly, it could go any which way. Maybe they go 0-3. It's G2. Eternal Fire, following my gut. Imperial got a very tough opening matchup against Virtus.pro, who are like major merchants. And then the Mongols, they almost went 0-3 in the other stage, from what I remember. I think they were 0-2 down in the beginning. And from that, I just think, yeah, I don't know. They have a pretty tough opening match against Na'Vi. I think Na'Vi will win that, and if they do, I think the Mongols might be in for a rough one. But it depends. If the Mongols get Imperial, then we're fucked. Actually, let me just check that for you guys. See the matchups. If the seats fit, then we will have Cloud9 the Mongols, and I think that's gonna be a Cloud9 victory. We're gonna have Eternal Fire Imperial, and that's going to be Eternal Fire, in my opinion. So yeah, I feel pretty good about these picks, but at the same time, I got very surprised from the other stage. So anything can happen, baby, and that's the way we live life. Sorry for not having camera on. I need a shower. But thank you guys for watching the video anyway, and please subscribe to Mr. Beast.